Hey everybody, welcome to the 100% Wild podcast brought to you by Wired to Hunt and DoD TV. We have your co-host Mark Kenyon from Wired to Hunt and Matt Drury of Drury Outdoors and special in-studio guest Ray Eye of Eye on the Outdoors.
Well, I wanted to quick tell people about your website, rayi.com. You have a couple pretty cool things on there, and I think, the whole point of today is to try to help people learn a little bit more about turkey hunting, and that's something that you've been doing for a long, long time, and you have a couple products actually on your website there for sale that can help people with turkey hunting and learning a little bit more about calling. Why don't you take us through
My
that?
latest book is the Turkey Hunter's Bible through Skyhorse Publishing, and I just tell it like it is. It's just me laying it all out there after all the years. I want to share. I've written 2 other books, but this book is my baby. I really like this book. Great reviews on it, lots of information, and I say how you go turkey hunting and how you make it fun and enjoy it, and don't take it so serious that you have to kill a turkey. But teaching is very important. And my DVD, my newest one is 3 of chasing spring, because we chase spring, as you know, Matt, and your dad and uncle know that we travel all over the country hunting turkeys and call it chasing spring. And I lay out hunts and I do teaching hunts. All my DVDs are seminar format teaching. So I think the teaching is real important. It's not about me killing a turkey. It's not about me, look at me, I'm a great hunter. That's got nothing to do with it. It's about someone can take that DVD and learn and share and go in the outdoors and enjoy turkey hunting.
Well, very cool. Well, I appreciate that, and anybody that wants to learn a little bit more, go check out rayi.com, and also you can follow you on Twitter and Facebook as well.
I'm terrible on Twitter. Get me on Facebook.
Okay.
I got a Twitter that's in one of my Facebook accounts. Other than that, I've lost. You young guys know your Twitter and Tweeter and all your stuff.
Good deal. Well, Mark, how's it been going for you this season so far? Have you bagged a bird?
Stop laughing, Mark.
Yeah. My turkey hunting season started off really rough. The first 5 days of the season, in Michigan, we opened up last Monday. So the first 5 days of the season were tough. And it's funny because, going into this year, I really thought I had been figuring it out. I just started turkey hunting probably 5 or 6 years ago. My family had never done it. So I just kind of taught myself. And after a couple of years, I thought I really had it nailed. I was killing birds, opening day of the season for a number of years. And so this year I was like, I'm going to make it more difficult. I'm going to go out with a bow. I'm going to hold out for a big mature gobbler. And as you might imagine, those 5 days of trying that humbled me. Yeah. Humbled me would be the best way to say it. So on Saturday, I grabbed the gun and decided it was just time to get the job done. And luckily, not only did I have the gun, but also the birds were cooperating. And a perfect morning, cool, crisp, quiet. And it played out exactly how you'd want. So I got myself a nice gobbler Saturday morning, and I'm sitting pretty now. I just finished up my hunt here in Michigan last weekend. My dad's coming in this coming weekend, and then the following weekend I'm going to Ohio. So you got me all jazzed up now for those hunts now too. So this is exciting.
It's going to get better. It's like here in Missouri. It's tough right now, but you wait till the last week of the season in Missouri. It's going to be phenomenal. Once these hens start leaving these gobblers, it's going to be really good.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw the same thing here in Michigan as far as the henned up birds. So it's interesting to hear that's something that's kind of maybe countrywide.
Yeah.
Well, you have better luck off the roost once that kind of period.
Yes. You'll still have luck on the roost if you get really tight and if you can roost a bird. I'm gonna tell everybody, if you could roost a bird and know what limb he's on and get in tight on him. If you know the way he flew up to the roost, if you can get where he flew up and get tight and get on the call right away, you got a better chance of getting him before the girls get to him.
Would a decoy, or what combination of decoys would help you with them coming off the roost in the morning?
Hen and a jake.
Or
a gobbler, whatever. You can even put them in the woods. A lot of people don't like to use the decoys in the woods, but if he can wake up and look down and see that turkey, especially if you're gobbler, you open him, see a jake.
I've always heard Mark and Terry talk about, as far as putting a decoy in the woods, if you have a spot that kind of lays out where they can see him at a little bit further of a distance, so that they're not just popping up over a ridge, see one, and it kind of freaks them out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And you got to be careful in the woods. You don't want to get it where it's too thick, and then some hunter comes up and sees a turkey all of a sudden and starts blasting.
Sure.
You got to be real careful with that.
Yeah. Well, Mark, without further ado, you want to move on to some viewer questions?
I think so. Yeah, we have our question of the day coming up, but today it's actually questions of the day, Matt. So do you want to take it from there?
Absolutely. The questions of the day is brought to you by Analogics Outdoors. Protect your herd with the power of science. And the first question we have is from Nick Savare, Svare. And it says, what are some good tactics for turkey hunting in the rain/wind?
Oh, that's a good question, Nick. First of all, you hunt. If it's turkey season, The wind's blowing, it's raining, you hunt. If you got a tag in your pocket, you hunt. You don't sit at the cabin. You don't stay in camp. The turkeys don't go to the donut shop. They don't go to the restaurants. They stay out there, okay? One of the things I do in the rain, if it's timbered areas, I remember my scouting and know where I've heard turkeys at different times of the day, and I go directly to those spots, set up, call 45 minutes to an hour, and set. I call a little louder if it's raining. I may go to a box call, hold it up under raincoat or something, and try to keep it covered if it's raining. The box call, but I got a 6,000s latex mouth call that sounds like a 400-pound hen. That works pretty good for me in the rain. But you can go from place to place in the timber where you've scouted if you know a place. And if you don't know the place, just get it on an old logging road and off each point, each ridge. If you're hunting timber company, hit and call, hit and call, hit and call. I have killed them in a downpour, coming in strutting and gobbling, and hit them right. Wow. And other times they just show up because they're out there. Now, if you got fields, you all heard about hunting the fields. Today's world's great. You got these tents, man. You got these turkey blinds. Yeah. If you got a good place on a field, the turkeys are coming to the field, and when it's raining, got a good blind set up, put your decoys out. Yeah. Great set. You can do that. What I usually do with my hunts and my people, I have 3 or 4 blind setups and alternate between them. Now, we'll hunt a place in the rest of the day and then come back. But field hunting can be very effective. But when it's windy, I travel shorter distances, and I call a lot louder, and I generally use a box call, cutting you up on a box call. That sound carries better in the wind, because I've killed turkeys in the wind, I've killed turkeys in the rain, I've killed turkeys under every condition. But I've seen a lot of hunters that will get up and say, well, it's raining, I'm not going out. Yeah. You're missing an opportunity to kill a turkey.
Is it like deer hunting in the respect that, when the rain stops, that the turkeys kind of come out, they preen?
Absolutely.
Is that something where a lot of people have a lot more success as soon as it ends? You want to be there for that front.
You need to be there, yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I've watched my little brother. He never gives up. We were missing one of my national media guys last year in all the rain, and he didn't come back, and I got worried, and it was about 5 minutes to 1. I was surprised still. So I went in to check on him, and he was under a tree still yelping, holding a big green umbrella over him and his hunter. He never quits.
Dedication.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's go to the second question here, Mark.
Yeah. We got a question from Billy Schrock, I believe is his name. And here's what Billy asked for you, Ray. This is going to be his first year turkey hunting, and he's on a budget. So he says, I have a gun and choke tube, but beyond that, I don't have any turkey gear. What I don't know is what one piece of turkey gear do I need to buy that I cannot live without? Do I need to buy a call or a decoy, or more specifically, what kind of call or decoy?
Oh, that's a good question. Billy, when we get done with this program, send me your address and I'll send you a call. You're on a budget. But I would say a call. Get a box call. Box call is a great call. It sounds like a turkey. It's easy to use. It's one piece. You don't have 2 pieces you lose and you mess up. They sound like turkeys, and you can use it for your lifetime, and you'll have great success killing turkeys with a good box call. It works under any type of condition or time of the year. And box calls sound more realistic and more like a turkey than a lot of people do on a diaphragm call. So if you really want to get into turkey hunting and you're new in it, you need to get you a good box call. I'd get that over a decoy. Start with your box call. You could add the other stuff later as your budget gets better, but if you're going to go hunt turkeys for your first time and try to kill turkeys, get you a good box call. Sounds really good. Hey, you guys got a pretty good box call.
Yeah, and honestly, they're fairly easy to run.
They're very easy, and they're in one piece. You just pull it across and make the sound. And I was going to do it for you, but I left mine. I don't have it, so anyway.
Well, it's one of those things, I very rarely call. When you have Mark and Terry and all these good callers hunting with you, you don't get a chance to, first of all. But, for whatever reason, I always pull the calls out and still check them and try them and see how they are. And a box call, it feels like no matter when I pull it out, first stroke, it always sounds great. And it's like, man, I'm a great caller.
Yeah. Well, I tell somebody, when you're holding a box call and you call, you hear the hit rubbing and you hear the noise. But what you need to do if you're by yourself, just put your tape recorder up and tape record your sounds and take it out there about 70 yards and play it. Walk back and listen to it from a distance, and you'll hear the realism. You'll know how you're calling. And when you said Terry and Mark calling, well, Terry's a way better caller than Mark. I don't know what you're talking about. He smokes him.
I'll make sure we let Mark know.
Now, Ray, let's say Billy's got a little more money in his fund, and now he can get a decoy too. What's the first type of decoy should somebody get? If they can only get one decoy, is it a hen? Is it a jake? A gobbler?
I'd get a hen. I'd get a hen because turkey season in the spring is judged by when most of the hens are on the nest. There's a lot of 2-year-olds running around. There's a little window of opportunity to mating season. That's how all spring turkey hunting is judged, and you yelp to bring the gobbler in. That's what people 90% of the time are involved in. What messes them up is that if the season like this year where they're henned up or the gobblers are running together, some of that doesn't work. But most of the time, the season, wherever you're hunting, is going to hit hen to gobbler call. So he should get him a hen decoy and a box call and do that, and then progress and learn more as he goes, and then advance to a jake decoy and other calls.
Good deal.
Perfect.
All right, the third question. This is rapid fire. Do you like how we're doing
that's
this?
great.
All right, good deal.
Actually, you guys are pretty slow.
The third question is from Chris Goins. It says, what's the best way to hunt a silent tom in the afternoon?
Oh, a silent tom.
The
I'll go
worst.
back to my same thing I said earlier, Matt, is about if you have the opportunity to place your hunting that you've scouted and you know where you've seen turkeys. For instance, a place we just hunted in the Ozarks. I was down there a full week before my people came up, and most of the time at a distance, glassing, watching the field areas, and listening and watching the turkeys. And I knew where those turkeys were at certain times of day. When I went out in the morning and they were on the roost, right the day before the season opened, I didn't just hear them gobble on the roost. I stayed and followed them, which direction they traveled, where they go, where they at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you do all that, and if you know that in the afternoon, if you know that, and they're not gobbling, that's fine. You go to those spots and you set up. And if you got an area where you got a field where they frequent the field in the evening, where they come in and out of the field, if you got a big round field and there's a little corner down there with a little hump or something,
Yeah.
and you see them down there a lot, you need to be down there.
Good deal. Yeah, that's one of the things that, Mark and Dad have always told me as well. It's like, all right, historically, we know these birds on this
Yes.
farm are going to be here
Right.
during, at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
or whatever they're passing through. So if we don't have luck in the morning off the roost, a lot of times we might move to those traditional spots and just kind of sit tight.
Yeah.
That's something that they used to not do. It was always run and gun.
Run and gun, yeah.
They were very impatient.
But that's very successful doing it like that.
It is. I mean, if you know where they're going,
Yeah.
set up and be ready for them.
If I could add to that, it said the afternoon. In the morning when they're not gobbling, and especially pressured areas in some of our public areas where I've scouted and I know where there's gobblers in the morning gobbling on a roost. If a lot of hunters are in there early morning, I won't go in there till like 10 o'clock.
Really?
When everybody leaves.
Yeah.
And I won't make a sound out up the road, and I won't make a sound going in. I'll go straight to that spot where that gobbler had been gobbling and set up, and we have killed lots of turkeys like that.
So you wait until everybody's
Yeah.
stomachs start,
Yeah,
growling.
I already had breakfast. I've already had my coffee. I'm good. But I do that in the public areas a lot, and I learned that years ago in the national forest in Iron County and Washington County. Once Outdoor Life and Field and Stream published articles in the early 70s about the turkey hunting, you couldn't find a place to park.
Really?
And I knew the area and I knew the turkeys. And once those people came in like that, I waited till the trucks left and jeeps left. Then I'd pull in, go right to that ridge that gobbler was strutting before season, and cut and yelp and be able to kill a turkey.
That's pretty smart.
Now, Ray, I got a
Good
question
looks and
for
smart.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got the total package.
Yes, sir.
So you've mentioned scouting a couple different times
Oh,
and how
yes.
that's helped you,
It's
during the
everything.
season with different circumstances. I don't know if I know a whole lot about the right way to scout turkeys. Could you walk through a little bit about what your scouting regimen looks like? Where are you looking? How much time are you putting into it? How early do you start?
Sure. Well, I could go on for like 2 hours for this. We're way past finding poop and feathers and tracks. You don't have time. We hunt state to state. I'll hunt 7 or 8 states in the spring in a place I've never seen before. So I utilize my turkey calling. That's how I scout. First, I get a topo of the area and see what the terrain looks like. And I ask the people if they'll tell me what they've heard and seen turkeys do. But I can learn from the turkeys so quickly. These farms we just hunted in the Ozarks is a great example. Never been on these places before. I came and scouted them 2 days before the season. But by going in there and watching, staying back, I call it low impact scouting, Mark, staying back, observing turkeys, listening to turkeys. But I want to know where they're gobbling. Now, you can owl hoot, and you can crow call, and you can do the locatings all you want. I don't use those much anymore. I use a turkey call because they respond better to a turkey call. But I don't scare them. I don't bump them. I don't run through them. Turkeys hear turkeys every day of their life. You're not going to make them call shy or scare them off. That is how we are successful by going in with our turkey call, locating turkeys, because they respond so much better to turkey call. I locate them to the turkey call. I don't call them in and spook them. I have a guy say, I won't do that. They'll come in. They haven't been hunting this year, have they? Anyway, move and call. I'll go from place to place, and what I do is I locate turkeys. I'll stop. I'll take my truck into engine field, get out and cut and yelp, or take my box call and hit it, and then I go, okay, here, and here. And that's how I learn. And then when I come in to hunt, the morning we came in to hunt with one of our riders, we didn't stop any place or stand back and listen. We didn't owl hoot. We went right in, walked in, and went right to that spot, had a tree picked out. He was right under the hill where we'd scouted him by using the turkey call. That's the best way to scout, especially new places you go into. And you can stay back at a distance and call a little bit and listen to the turkeys. I actually shot a video segment on scouting this spring with that. I went in and told the viewer what I was doing and why I was doing it. I was using my turkey call all the way through. Then John Sabati flew over from Hawaii. I showed him the video and told him what I did. He went right in there and killed a turkey.
Nice.
By utilizing that scouting method.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's
good
pretty cool.
information.
Yeah, so we do have another question now, continuing with our not so rapid fire.
I have to use my headphones here.
This one I think came from Instagram from a Jeremy J 1976. And he says, and this is kind of relevant to what we were just talking about.
Yeah, it is.
He asks, when's the best time to use a shot call? Is that only when you're trying to locate birds or heading to the roost, or can it be effective during the day when birds have gone silent?
A little of both. It could be effective during the day. It's funny, over the years, I've had some turkey hunters say they can't believe that I owl hoot after daylight, or in the middle of the day, but I hear owls all day long.
Yeah.
But owl calls, crow calls, those sort of things. Did I get unplugged here or something? Can't hear my headphones, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. I go back to the turkey call. I roost turkeys with a turkey call. I locate turkeys with a turkey call. I make turkeys gobble during the day with a turkey call. I move like a hen moving from place to place, lost looking for turkeys. Hens move around. You sit in one spot and keep calling. That's not natural. But if you move around a little bit and then sit down and call, move and call, that's a great locating when they're not gobbling to get one started. We use that a lot this spring again. But when it comes to locating calls, owls are great. We'll use an owl or depends on how close you are to the birds. But the most effective is always still the turkey call. When I roost gobblers in the evening, I cut and yelp and get them to gobble. And then when I get them on the limb and they're gobbling, I call to them and I move up and I call and I locate exactly where they are and I know my setup next morning. I'm the last thing he hears when he goes to bed and the first thing he hears in the morning. And most of the times he gets a ride in the truck.
He's got something to think about all night.
All night long. He's on that limb going, oh, come on, daylight. Come on, daylight. Come on, daylight.
Nice.
That'd work for me.
I'd be the first turkey dead opening day, 30 seconds after the season. I can't help myself, okay?
I think that's every guy.
Hey, we're males.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good deal. So next question we have, I think it came from Instagram as well. AJ Bender. It says, what's the most common mistake turkey hunters make?
Well, you all might be surprised about that, but I still say it's movement, not setting still, not realizing how you have to be still. Turkeys are always looking for something, trying to eat them. And in our world, we move quick. Everything's fast food. Everything's now. You got to have it now. You got to slow down to turkey time. And the biggest thing I've seen 30-something years of taking other hunters is movement. It doesn't matter how many times you tell them. We call them head bobbers. I just had one, an experienced hunter, sitting against a tree. I roosted these birds. The base of the tree was 40 yards away, but they pitched down on this road, and I told them, you cannot make a sound, they're right here. Set them up. This is a great example. On the tree, and I said, now they're right here. And it got daylight, he started hearing other turkeys, and then he heard, yup, 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 right there, and then he heard, and he turned around and looked at me, I go, don't move.
Don't move.
He had rattled the gate coming in too, but anyway, he's sitting there, and he turkey gobbled a couple times. I hit him. We're good, okay? Try to keep this short. Then he pitched. And when he pitched, I think it really surprised him because when he pitched, he was like 50 yards. And hit, and there was a green road right there that we're going to kill this turkey. You got to get tight. Remember I talked about getting tight because of the hens. And this is what he did. When turkey pitched, he did this. He picked up his gun and shifted himself around, went like that.
You got to be ready.
Show over.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go get some breakfast? He says, what about this time? What time?
That's brutal.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of hunters today, with ground blinds,
Yeah.
you get away with.
You can.
Literally get
True.
away with a murder in a ground blind.
Right.
So I think a lot of people may have started to lose some of that woodsmanship
Right.
over the years. I mean, when you're sitting by a tree and back in the day before camo, and I know you still don't even wear camo
No.
to this day. You got to be pretty still. I mean, movement
Yeah.
is a big thing to a turkey.
Movement is everything, and they see movement. And hunters, it says, what is the most common mistake? There's so many mistakes, so they don't get set up closer to turkey. They move too much. They get skylighted. There's just so many things that you see turkey hunters do over the years to make mistakes that cost them turkeys.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think anyone watching me turkey hunt this past week could have gotten a whole slate of these different common turkey mistakes.
Yeah, well, when we were doing our hunt live on Monday, the cool part about doing those live hunts, the viewer at home, they can comment.
That
It's
is so
like
cool.
armchair
Yeah.
quarterback with you,
Yeah.
right? Armchair hunter, as Mark Drury says. And it's so neat because, as a hunter, it's not like I'm sitting there reading the comments on the phone as they're coming in. But after the fact, you go back and everybody's like, you guys are moving too much. You couldn't do that on public land in PA and all that stuff. But realistically, in a ground blind, you can do a lot more of that stuff. And when you're trying to film and do all
Especially
these
camera
things,
equipment, yes, with multiple people.
You need all the
when you're hunting
concealment you
with two
can get.
gals that
Yeah.
like to talk and visit. Your best to put them on the ground blind. I need to ask our guy. You said that people are asking questions. Anybody say what's up with the old fat guy yet?
Joe, anybody on YouTube asking what's up with Ray yet?
No.
Just checking. I'm used to abuse. You ought to meet my wife.
Oh man, Ray.
I'm steering out of that one.
We're gonna give you one more question
Okay,
here,
I'm
and
good.
we've kind of already spoken to it a little bit, so I might adjust it to touch. This is from, I think it's Dave Epp. I think this is a Twitter question, and he asked, my question would be for a young hunter, taking a young hunter out, what would you give them, a slate call or a box call? Now you kind of already spoke to that, as you mentioned, the box call is maybe the first call somebody should get. So I guess slightly adjusting on that. What would your advice just be for a young first-time caller? Anything, whether it be which type of caller or any other techniques. I think that would be
give him
interesting.
a box call and a slate call and tell him to wear them out. Have fun. Call. Don't be afraid to call. I hunt with kids. I call turkeys for them. I want them to kill a turkey. We just did a youth hunt, a sponsored youth hunt down in the Ozarks, the same area we just did our media hunt. Great kids and was able to get them some turkeys. But when that kid sits down, he's going to participate in that hunt. And I want him to, on that box call, I want to show him how to use it. And every kid I ever take, we sit down and we call. And he's sitting there and he looks at me and I said, you call, tear it up? What's the turkey's going to do? Run away? Who cares? Call. Let the kid have fun. Because if he doesn't have fun, if he doesn't take a stick and play in the leaves, he doesn't call and have a great time and run to town with Uncle Ray and get a sausage biscuit, he's not going to want to go back. If he goes and says, sit still, don't move, you're moving too much, be still, he's not going to do that anymore. Yeah. But if he has fun with it, and what really worked out, not only did these boys have fun, these young kids have fun, they both killed turkeys.
Awesome.
And that's a bonus.
Then they're hooked for life.
Yeah, but it was fun because that morning where I had turkeys before, they weren't there, and I'm like, they were here. This little 12-year-old's looking at me like,
Sure.
Yeah, sure. It was great.
In today's age, I think there's so much that is pulling at these kids.
Competition,
technology
yes.
and these traveling sports.
Right.
And there's so much competition to be able to take them and go hunting and spend, like you said, slow down and turkey time and all that.
You have
deer
to.
hunting, anything like that. You got to make it fun, I think.
Yeah.
And one of the fondest memories for me growing up, turkey hunting, it wasn't because it took probably like 4 or 5 years till I killed my first turkey. But the fun part was always the camaraderie, and the social nature, and
absolutely.
the breakfast.
That's the biggest part of turkey hunting for me. Anything I do, anybody watching this, any of you, watch me, seminars, TV, I don't care, radio. What do I always say? Have fun. Have fun. Go with your family and friends and make memories and have a great time. Don't worry about killing. You got to kill a turkey and impress somebody. It's not about you. It's about the whole experience. If you'll go out and have fun, enjoy your family and your friends, and you get out into the woods and you slow down, get on that turkey time, and relax and just enjoy the woods, a turkey will come. You'll get a turkey. But if you press it, you won't.
Yeah, that's great advice. I mean, the best memories I can think of a child, is going to the Beacon there and Bloomdale.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, I know the Beacon. Yeah.
That's the fun stuff.
You got to have breakfast. You got to have breakfast.
I never remember the mornings that we didn't kill something, but I always remember the fun that we had in the conversation.
Absolutely.
That's something.
Now, back when I started, it was a little different than you because we had crank telephones and outhouses, and I went in with a kerosene lantern. So
What? That's a good question. What year did you start turkey hunting?
Oh no!
I actually went on my first turkey hunt in 1962.
So back then, I'm 35. And Mark, how old are you?
28 years young.
28. So we're relatively young.
What a pup!
All I've heard my whole life is how much the NWTF has done for turkey hunting today. And so what was the turkey population like back in 1962?
It was limited in the state of Missouri. Of course, it was in the Ozarks. The Ozarks was the only place we had turkeys left in rough pockets of the Ozarks. And that's why everybody else ended up getting turkeys. People from North Missouri, I didn't see any out-of-state hunters the first part of Missouri's spring first seasons, but I did later on in the late 60s and early 70s, we started getting non-residents. In 1965, 66, 67, somebody would drive down from Jeff City and make a camp on the National Forest. You'd go see them because that was pretty cool. Somebody from out of the county was down there turkey hunting. But then when it really got good in the early 70s, we had the turkey populations were growing, and they did the restoration program. They live trapped turkeys, put them around the state, and then those turkeys ended up in Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Kentucky, Tennessee. The turkeys that we hunt in Missouri, the guys hunted in Iowa and the different places originally came from Missouri. Wow. So I used to kill their ancestors. So they did this restoration program, but this was the only place there was turkeys. The turkey hunting was fabulous. There was old turkeys and lots of them because the flock was growing.
Wow.
It was an incredible time to be a turkey hunter. It really was.
Was it easier to call back then, or was it different techniques?
No, it was tougher on somebody that wanted to do like the turkeys did. Everybody calls me aggressive. I don't know what the term of aggressive is, but most people, not most, but 99% of them did 3 soft yelps and 2 clucks and wait 10 minutes by the watch. And I did whatever the hens did because that's what worked. Because I tried that, kelp, 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 cluck, cluck.
Nothing.
And I waited, and then, he gobbled, and then his hen come in, run away with my gobbler before my 10 minutes was up. So I learned a lesson, Calling was an art in those days, and everything was secretive. What I want to tell everybody, there was none of this. There was no magazine articles. You couldn't find anything. If somebody killed a turkey, it was a big secret. They wouldn't tell you how they did it.
It's kind of like
It was,
morel hunting.
it was a big secret. And then they had maps. So the check stations, those are the greatest. And you're supposed to mark where you killed a turkey. That didn't help the restoration program any. I put mine on a Walmart parking lot in 77.
Funny. Good deal.
Oh man, this has been awesome, Ray.
Oh.
I don't know about you, Matt, but I've learned a ton just in this
Absolutely.
last 30 minutes. So I feel like I am armed and ready to get out there these next coming days and put another bird in the freezer. What about you, Matt?
Absolutely. I think this is, the point of this podcast, the 100% Wild podcast, is not only to give people some more information and dive in a little further,
Yeah.
but it's to have fun. And I think that's what we've done here today. And it's been a
Can
real
have fun,
joy.
go home.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a real joy
Yeah.
having Ray in. I think we might
guys.
have to have you in again.
I
Just
can do this for you. I love this stuff, guys. I love sharing. It's my obligation. I have to do that. I was very, very fortunate to grow up and do what I'm doing. And to do it for a living, are you kidding me? I get to go turkey hunting all the time. But my wife, she puts me in my place, guys. I come back from Nashville. You know how we do the turkey show? And I come back and I go, honey, oh my God, they were lined up for 2 blocks for me to sign hats. They wanted to get a picture with me. And, the seminar crowd, I got a standing ovation. She goes, that's nice, honey. Take the trash out there.
back to reality.
It's funny how wives can do that.
Yeah, put you in your place real quick.
Oh my God. Hey, thanks for having me, though. Really, I really appreciate the
Yeah.
opportunity to visit with you. Terry and Mark, my brothers for years, love them to death.
They think very highly of you. There's so much respect there for what you've done in the outdoors and the path that you've helped kind of create for them and their careers. And I know they both wanted to say hello and
That's
thank
great.
you for everything.
Love them to
So,
death. God, I'm old.
Well, thank you, Ray. We
Thank you,
really
Mark.
do appreciate you taking the time to do
Hey,
this.
brother, let's get together
Super
sometime and go
interesting.
turkey hunting. Huh?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Mark, you want to learn how
Love it.
to kill turkeys? Have him up to Michigan with you. That's the way to do it.
I like killing them fern turkeys.
Let's make it happen.
All right, brother.
Good deal. So,
All right,
Mark,
well-
you want to take them through a little bit of the business side of it and where they can get questions to us, and we'll get a new podcast out here hopefully in another couple weeks.
Exactly, yes. Just a couple quick updates before we let you all go. First, we want to make sure you know how to subscribe to this podcast so you can see all the future episodes coming down the pipeline. So first, if you are watching video or if you want to watch the video version in the future, go to the Drury Outdoors YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Drury Outdoors. Subscribe there, and then you can actually watch the live broadcasts every week when we actually send them out. And then also you can see those videos in the future. And then if you want the audio version of the podcast, you can go to iTunes and search for 100% Wild there, or wiredtohunt.com. You'll find it in both places. You'll be able to get the audio version probably later today or very soon after. So be sure to subscribe both to the audio version and the video version over on YouTube. And then finally, if you want to send in a question for us to answer in the future, you can do that through social media sometimes, like in this case. But you can also send in an audio version so we can actually hear your own voice on a future episode. So if you go to wiredtohunt.com/100% wild, it's all words. If you do that, you'll see all the instructions for exactly how to submit your question. So that's all the updates we've got today. This has been fun. I'm pretty pumped to do some turkey hunting. I'm sure Ray is. I'm sure Matt is. And I'm betting if you're watching or listening right now, you are too. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Peace.
Bye.